Good morning and welcome to yet another recording. This is Winich Taka. Today is the 22nd of November 2017. This is Winich Taka empowering Ugandans for the Uganda Youth Collective. Today's topic is going to be this. Who do you say you are? Who do you say that you are? If you're in the Empowering Ugandan Women group, you would have noticed that in the last few weeks or last few days, we've been talking about the things you would do if money was not an issue. And yesterday we expanded on some of your ideas. For example, those of you that said you wanted to start a restaurant, I went ahead to challenge you to begin to visualize. What does your restaurant look like? Where would it be? Where would you build it? What would your staff members wear? What would the tablecloth look like? To expand on your vision, to get you to a point where, regardless of your current circumstance or situation, that you don't live in the negative now, you don't live in the now, but you begin to dream and understand that there is a destination, there is more than you're settling for right now. And so today I want to continue and ask you a question. It's one thing to believe what people say about you, what your friends, what your parents think about you, what your country thinks about you, what your boss thinks about you. But what's more important, and actually can be pretty dangerous too, question is, who do you say that you are? That's what I want us to focus on today. This is what I want you to think about. And if you have your pen and paper, as we always say, this will be our focus today. Our self-perceptions are often instilled in us before we have the say in them. Learning to change how we see ourselves helps us find our hidden strength or improve weaknesses we didn't know we had to get along better in life. Accurate self-perception is a necessary component of self-improvement. If you don't know where your strengths or weaknesses lie, you don't know what areas you need to work on or how to leverage your assets. Self-perception is simply being aware of who you are, what you like, and what you're capable of. Your self-perception goes beyond positive self-esteem, though it may involve acknowledging your shortcomings. For example, I am not good at reading or music. Adjusting how you view your skills. For example, this skill I thought was boring is actually useful. Or recognizing your problem areas. Maybe you realize, actually, do you know what? I'm quite lazy. Not as hardworking as I thought. Adjusting your self-perception comes down to being honest with yourself. Recognizing your weak points helps you identify when you need to ask for help. Acknowledging your strength can give you the courage to assert yourself even when you don't feel like you deserve to. What you do with the knowledge is a whole different can of worms. But here's how to adjust when your perception doesn't line up with your reality. It is so important. So important to understand what it is, how you see yourself. Because it's one thing for people to tell you you're amazing and you're great. But if you don't see the things that we see and we keep saying, then we could say them for many, many years until you begin to see yourself as what people may see. Then you're never actually going to get there. So the first step in fixing your perception, your perception of yourself is to identify how you see yourself. One way to get started is a technique that is used by cognitive behavior therapy. And this is what they do. They recommend writing 10 of your strength on one side of paper and 10 weaknesses on the other. This exercise forces you to take an honest look at yourself. You may need to seek outside input from others if you can't come up with 10 for both sides. Once you're done, keep the list because it will come in useful or come in handy for the next thing you can do. I want us to do this today. It's important that you understand what you really, really think about yourself. So I want you on a piece of paper. Let's try this exercise. Write down 10 things that you're good at, your strength. What are you good at? And on the other side, write down 10 things that you're not so good at, your weaknesses. This is going to force you to be honest, to honestly look at yourself. And if you can't find 10 good things you're good at, or 10 weaknesses, maybe you can ask your friends, see, what do they think are your weaknesses? And I want you to really, really self-analyze yourself. Because the dreams that you had down yesterday, that you wrote down yesterday, those things you want to achieve, those things you're dreaming of, that destiny, if the way you perceive yourself now, the way you see yourself now, is a way that is based on your current circumstance, for example, maybe all you're doing now is the job of a maid, but your dream is that of one that is going to own hospitals and schools. If you cannot get past seeing yourself as just a maid, and you're not able to see yourself as the manager of a school or head of a school, it's going to become very challenging for you. Very challenging for you to achieve. It's not because it's not attainable or doable, but it's going to become really tough and hard for you. And here at Empowering Ugandans, my mission and my joy is to help you realize who you are, to understand that you're just as good as anybody else, and to drive out any of those perceptions that you've come to accept, you've come to believe, you've adapted as your own because of some of the bad information you have received, because of what somebody wrote down on your form, because of what your parents told you, because of what your school teachers told you. But I'm here to crush some of those bad perceptions and tell you, you are capable of a lot more than you think. It is written that before you were formed in your mother's womb, you were known. You're not an accident. Maybe your parents found you on the street. Maybe you were abandoned as a child. Maybe you didn't have a mother or a father. Maybe you grew up in an orphanage. Maybe you are somebody who had a really bad childhood. And because of your start in life, you've accepted. Maybe you were abused as a child. And maybe that has caused you for such a long time to believe that you're not good enough. To believe that this is what you deserve, and this is why you allow people to walk all over you. This is why you allow people to mistreat you. This is why you allow people to do the things they do to you. Because of your beginning, you don't believe you're good enough. And it is that perception, it is that thinking that we must deal with. Remember what we keep saying. Nothing changes until your mind changes. And one thing I know, that no man is in charge of your life, but the one that gave you that life. And the one that gave you that life has a manual for your life. I would encourage you. One of the things that I do that has built my strength and has changed and totally revolutionized my perception of myself is that I've come to understand there's a reason for my life. I am loved. I am unique. I am special. And every day I read the Word of God. That's my affirmation. That's my approval. That's what gives me the confidence to do everything that I do in life. And so today, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to us, I encourage you to get involved. And the question is this: who do you say that you are? That's our focus. The exercise is this: on a piece of paper, on one side, write down 10 things that you're good at, your strength. On the other side, write down 10 things that are weaknesses that maybe you're not so good at. If you need help, ask your friends and critically analyze those, and let's discuss in the group. If you're a man and you're wondering when is the men's WhatsApp group going to be set up, at the end of this month we will be launching the Empowering Ugandan Men WhatsApp group. If you're a man and you want to be a part of that WhatsApp group, then I would encourage you to follow us on our various social media platforms. We are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook as Uganda Youth Collective. That's Uganda Youth Collective. I invite you to come and join us, and go ahead and message us and let us know if you want to be a part of this move. And also, I remind you that that campaign that we are running, hashtag UgandansCAN, is continuing as we continue to showcase Ugandans who are doing amazing things. Thank you so much. On this Wednesday, 22nd of November, 2017, I'll be back tomorrow with yet another powerful message to encourage you and to let you know that Ugandans can, and that you too can and can achieve anything that you believe that you set out to do. I am wishing you an amazing day, and I'll speak to you later within the group if you're in the group. And also, if you think these voice recordings that we are doing are beneficial to you and you want to go ahead and share, I would encourage you to go ahead and share them with your friends. Let us all grow together. Remember, Ugandans can. This is Winich Taka, empowering Ugandans for the Uganda Youth Collective.